Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Talkin Rangers podcast. Today is
Oh my god.
Tuesday, April 16th.
Oh my
We've got
god.
Joe over here dabbing with the
Yeah,
Rangers winning the
listen,
President's
listen.
Trophy,
I'm excited, okay? Like I'm laughing, I'm happy, I'm excited for
the playoffs.
first seed, President's Trophy, playoffs. Here we come.
This is episode 29 of the Talkin Rangers podcast. As always, make sure to please like and subscribe. The Rangers took home the President's Trophy last night with a 4-0 victory over the Ottawa Senators. So it was a nice, convincing win going into the final game, 82 of 82 last night at MSG. And now the postseason is upon us. The Rangers need 16 wins to hopefully hoist the Stanley Cup. Joe, other than laughing and enjoying yourself on this Tuesday, what are your thoughts with the Rangers going into the postseason and the President's Trophy?
Dude, we made it. 82 games flew by. You know, I would not expected the season to go this way. If you told me we're going to be the best team in the league this year in the regular season, I wouldn't believe you, especially how that last season ended. But I think it was almost perfect. I feel like this regular season. Obviously, you had Panarin play well. Obviously, some ups and downs, but I mean, for the most part, you know, fully healthy. Maybe if Heedle is coming back for game one, we'll see. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Team was never out of games. They were put up together. They put together a bunch of win streaks. Had one bad month, but I mean, like besides that, dude, like they were so good. I mean, fun to watch and played great, and they earned this number one seed. And season starts. I assume the rumor or the talk is Sunday, so
Yeah.
season starts Sunday.
Yeah, with the Knicks playing Saturday, it looks like the Rangers will play Sunday. There was a report that came out earlier today that said it would be 3 o'clock Sunday, but nothing's confirmed yet. That, of course, will be something that'll probably come out most likely Friday once the entirety of the NHL regular season comes to an end. And, of course, playoffs start on Saturday. So we'll get more later on in the week. But either way, most likely Sunday with the Knicks playing Saturday, which would set up potentially Sunday afternoon at the Garden, which, of course, should be a packed building, an excited building, a building that hopefully will be packed well into June. The Rangers finished 55, 23, and 4. That was a franchise record in wins, 114 points, which, of course, ranked first in the NHL. The last time, a lot of people have been talking about, the President's Trophy and the curse over the last couple of years, but the last time the Rangers took home the cup, they were able to take on the trophy as well, or the President's Trophy as well. So does history repeat itself here, Joe? Potentially. What do you like? But what odds do you like better? The history repeating itself with the Rangers or the recent history with and look, to me, I don't buy into any of the President's Trophy stuff. Like it is what it is. Boston last year, of course, ran into the hot Florida team. I never really bought into, I guess, all of those things. It's every sport's got them. The number one team, the one seed always losing, or the President Trophy in this case, losing first round, whatever it is. I don't know if
The Nuggets were
I'm that worried.
the Nuggets were the first seed. They won last year, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think obviously, I think sometimes and like there's a lot of good teams in hockey, and I think anybody can win a series depending on like the structure they have. Like if you play a team maybe doesn't have a great roster but has a good goalie, that's how you kind of lose. I can't really see, besides the Penguins, I can't see any of the teams that we could play have like any kind of recipe for an upset. Like not many of the teams have like a lot of young, fast talent, like an elite player or elite goaltending. I mean, let's be honest, Ovechkin's not what he was even five years ago. So you're not really worried about that. They don't really have great goaltending. I mean, Charlie Lindgren just played well, but I mean, besides that, I don't really see anything out of that. The Red Wings, I think, are young. They don't really have an identity. I think that, again, they have a couple veterans, but I'm not too concerned about Patrick Kane on a bad hip or even their defense is, I think, just a little too young. Rangers match up well, too. That's another thing is how you match up well against a team. Like, you're not going to get grinded down by any of these teams either, like physically. So that's another thing that could be a recipe for an upset. They don't have any of that. And then the final team would probably be the Um, well, I was saying the Penguins because I assume the Flyers don't make the playoffs, but you never know. I know they're tied right now, but the Penguins I think could. They have a decent goalie, they have experience, they have that elite player, but this team should get to the conference final.
Yeah, there's a pretty
Very,
clear
very,
path.
very least. Very least.
Yeah, there's a pretty clear path for them, and I like what you said there about not having that one team. There isn't like the New Jersey Devils of last year where you run into that fast team, that the North and South team that can kind of beat you down, similar to what happened last season, of course, in the first round. And just back to the whole one seed thing. You mentioned last year with the Nuggets. This year the one seed UConn wins the March Madness. Last year you had the one seed and the Niners get to the playoffs. They were the one seed NFC versus the two seed Chiefs. The year before that, you had the 2 1 seeds and the Chiefs and the Eagles. So it's like it's not that uncommon for one seeds to go deep. It's going to be a storyline, but I think for the Rangers, it's can't focus on that. It's a completely different season. The playoffs is a completely different beast, no matter what happens in the regular season. Whether you get in on the final day of the regular season or you get in a month ago like the Rangers did, it doesn't matter at that point. Everybody's kind of 0-0, 16 wins. That's what you need. 7-game series need 4 wins each. So, everyone's battling for those 4 wins each series. But so it's a completely different ball games. The regular season stuff completely gets wiped away in my eyes, and that's kind of just the reality of it. So today is kind of putting a bow on the regular season because, of course, it's concluded. 4-0 win last night was nice. We talked about not having many, I guess, blowout or just wins where this team, the last night was one of them where they just dominated 4-0. Igor, of course, was great again. Another shutout for him. Didn't have to work too hard. Of course, the Rangers providing with some solid goal support. Fox, of course, with the shorthanded goal in the second period. Once he put that in, you kind of felt like the game was over there. But end of the season awards. Any thoughts before we begin?
I mean, no, I kind of just highlighted a little of the season, how it went at the beginning, and then kind of talked a little about what can we look forward to in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, I think we kind of hit everything and get into the awards.
Yeah, and just back to your point too, like you said, it was really a wire to wire, very good season. Outside of the stretch in January, there really wasn't much slump. There really wasn't much of that. It was the 1 month of hockey, which at the time you were worried about. You were kind of questioning, what is this team? Is this the team we saw from October to December, or is this team that we're seeing here in January? What type of Rangers team are we getting? And of course, coming out of the All-Star break, they came out, had the big win streak, and really never looked back from there. So, including winning 2 in a row to end the year. So now we move on to awards. Some of these are, I guess, awards. Some of these other ones are kind of just thoughts as well on the season. But we'll start off here, team MVP. We'll give it to Artemi Panarin. No real surprise here. 49 goals, 71 assists, 120 points, which was 3 shy of tying Jaromir Jagr. His 49 goals and 120 points were all career highs. He had the second most assists he's ever had in his career with 71. The most he had was in 2021, 2022 when he had 74. And we talked about it all year with the shot first mentality, what the coaching staff has been able to do with him. Just seems like he's playing a lot looser, a lot less pressure. 1 goal shy of 50. Would have been nice to see him crack 50, but still all in all a great season and right in the conversation to win the Hart Trophy. What was your thoughts on Panarin's season, who we've talked about a lot, and for good reason? He's been great and one of the best in the NHL.
Yeah, I mean, simple as he's phenomenal. I mean, especially coming off that kind of a disappointing year. I mean, he wasn't bad. I don't want to say he was bad, but he was good in the regular season last year, and then invisible, disappointing. I mean, you could say anything. It wasn't good. It was bad his postseason, and it really showed because he didn't do anything. They lost, so he's their best player, and if you're gonna win in the playoffs, you need your best player to play. So he wasn't good, and just to see him kind of bounce back. I mean, we all know why he was good this year, because he cut the hair, obviously. But I just mean just his play style, his shooting mentality, his ability to drive into the middle of the ice, to get into the dirty parts of the ice, to get like to rebounds, to just making everybody around him better, and just being an option to shoot. I think I kind of mentioned that was my biggest takeaway is going and shooting the puck and shooting and shooting. He's career high in shots. You need to shoot the puck to give your teammates opportunities to get open. Because if you know the guy's gonna pass, you're just gonna cover or the pass. And if now because he shoots so much, you don't know what he's gonna do, and that opens up a lot of different options for a player. And I think that really that elevated his game, and you could see that. I mean, 49 goals, career high, which was awesome, and 120 points again, career high, and he did everything well. And I can't say enough good things about him, but he's got to prove in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you mentioned last year where he had 92 points, 29 goals, 63 assists. He had 20 more goals than last year and 28 more points than last year. So was so much better than what he was last year. But yeah, the biggest thing that ultimately comes down to Panarin is the playoffs. What can he do this year? I trust him this year. I think he's just got a different mindset. It felt like the whole Gallant, it felt like there was maybe a little bit of a disconnect there. I don't know if there has been some reports that have come out, I guess, through an article that I saw this week, on some of the things that went wrong there, some of the things that he was trying to do or Gallant wanted him to do. New coach, new system, new mindset. I just think he's taken a lot more. He's just playing a lot more loose. Feels he's not putting as much pressure on himself. If just that shot first mentality, letting it fly, and it's been awesome to see. He fell 3 points shy of Jaromir Jagr, of course, tying his record 4 points from beating it. Crazy that he even got that close. After you went into the season, we talked about on some of our first episodes, one of our biggest question marks going into the year is Panarin. After what he did in the playoffs, how is he going to bounce back this year with a new coaching staff? And he bounced back in a huge way. Now, the last Hart Trophy winner was Mark Messier, who did it in 1991, 1992. He had 35 goals, 72 assists, 107 points that season. He won it in his age 31 year. Panarin's age 32. Do we see another Hart Trophy? He's fifth in goals, fifth in assists, fourth in points. Or do you think it goes to potentially a Nikita Kucherov, Matthews, McDavid's nuts with the 100 assists, but who do you think it ends up going to? Do you think Panarin has a chance here, or do you think it's going to go to one of those other guys?
I think it's going to be probably McKinnon, and then Kucherov, and then McDavid. So I don't see him finishing the top three. He'll definitely finish in the top five, though, depending on how people look at him and Matthews.
Yeah.
But yeah, I personally would vote for him to be the third in front of McDavid just because of how bad they were at the beginning of the year. I think that Panarin was the best player. 120 points is no joke. The best player on the best team in the league, I think, should kind of take into some consideration. And you can kind of look at the other guys where they're playing with other elite players. Not to say that Panarin is not, but I mean, I think he had almost 50 more points, or it was 44 more points than the second highest guy on his team. So, I mean, McKinnon's playing with Rantanen, he's playing with Makar. Granted, obviously, we're playing with Fox, but Matthews is playing with guys like Nylander. But I digress. I think that, again, it's kind of just a popularity vote, and points are a big thing. So, he doesn't have the most, so he probably won't win. But, I mean, I don't care about that. That doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, I'd rather win this thing like a Hart Trophy.
Yeah, I agree. And it is kind of in all sports, the MVP has lost. I don't want to say lost its value, but it's lost, I guess, its meaning in a way. People kind of forget the whole most valuable thing. It's more of an award of who could put up the most points in hockey.
It's a stat.
A lot of a lot of times in football, it's whatever quarterback throws the most touchdowns. It's not so much the MVP. And of course, different sports has different things. In baseball, the whole Shohei thing was a little bit different, I guess, with Judge and all that. You can make the case either way. Who is truly the most valuable? But yeah, I mean, you remove Panarin from this team, this Rangers team's going nowhere. Not saying that if you remove a McKinnon or one of those guys from the Avs or a Matthews or somebody like that, but with the players around them, you feel like they can at least take the blow a little bit more than the Rangers, especially this year with Mika playing like he did. If Panarin was not there this year or wasn't playing well, with the way Mika played, where he went 2 months without scoring a 5-on-5 goal, the right wing stuff, all those things, I mean, this team would have went nowhere. So
Yeah,
In
I
terms of
agree.
the whole most valuable, you can make the really strong case for him there. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of that core and of course, maybe up there popularity. So it'll be interesting. We'll see. But yeah, Cup is ultimately what matters most. And I'm sure Panarin would say that as well. Cup over team awards over individual awards. So Panarin MVP, no surprise there. Great season for him. Hopefully he carries it into the postseason. Now we move on here to most improved. A couple guys, I guess you could have made a case for this, but I think it's also pretty obvious here. We'll go Alexis Lafreniere, 28 goals, 29 assists, 57 points, all career highs. Easily could be a point per game player in his career if he gets possibly more power play time. And the crazy part is, too, with Lafreniere, he got robbed a lot. He left some meat on the bone this year. He could have easily had 10 more points, 5, 6, 7 more goals, probably. Not every goal that he got robbed on, you got to give to him, but he could have at least had 5 more goals. He could have at least had 30 plus goals, at least, 65, 66, 67 points. Still finishes very good. Still finishes all career highs. Clutch. He was awesome. Year one under Lavalette, took a huge jump. And I think you've got to be, of course, the focus on the playoffs, but this has got to give you a lot of excitement for the future of this team beyond this year with the way that Lafreniere played this year. What was your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about this early in the season, before the season, that a little concerned about him. He wasn't playing bad, but I mean, obviously, he wasn't feel like really taking an advantage. But granted, I mean, he didn't really get a chance, I'd say, with the top six at all the last couple of years, especially because he was a left winger. Gallant refused to move in the right wing. That's another thing that I think people don't really think about anymore, is that he was only allowed to play left wing, and then this year Lavallette's like, no,
Mhm.
they need to we need to move this guy to right wing to get him more playing time. And they did that, and I think that kind of gave him the ability to get that like more ice time, and being able to play with a guy like Panarin was huge for him. He was, I feel like, very good in all situations that he played this year. 6 on 5, he has a couple big goals. Had, I think, he had one or two, I think one overtime goal. Um, and obviously 28 goals is amazing. 58 or 57 points. 58 points, right?
For Lafreniere, 57.
57. Yeah, so
Yeah.
57 is a great total for someone who, again, doesn't play the power play.
Yeah.
And just the leap that he took this year, confidence wise, his skating was better, his shots were better, his positioning was better. So, I mean, who knows how good this kid will be if eventually he gets playing time. So, I'm really excited about him. I think he's been easily the most improved player. I mean, I guess in your like wildest dreams, it's not the wildest dreams. Obviously, 57 points isn't like an insane number, but it's progression, and it's a big step too.
Yeah.
It goes from, I think, 39 to 57. So again, if you got more ice time playing power play, I think you could see him being almost a point a game, sure.
Yeah. I mean, of course, huge jump. Where do you think next season, let's say, if he does, if he does play power play, what do you think? 80, 90,
I think he'll be in the 80s,
80s? Yeah.
high
I'd
70s,
probably,
low 80s.
yeah. I'd probably say so myself. He's really one of the guys that this season that has been most improved, not just on the Rangers, but across the league. He's seen a huge jump. I mean, all these young guys we kind of had questions about, really only outside of Heedle. We had questions about Kako and Lafreniere going into this season and how they would look. And Lafreniere was great right from the start. We talked about it for almost every episode early on, how he was playing well. Kako wasn't. Kako, of course, got hurt and he's actually looked better since the injury. But yeah, I mean, he's been awesome. He's been great and gives you promise for the future. While they are in a win now mode, there is parts of this team that, of course, are positive for the future, and you got to be excited for that. Of course, not only for the playoffs, but and also see what he could do for the playoffs as well. Another year of playoffs that he'll be able to get under his belt, and potentially we're talking about a big playoff year here for Lafreniere. What is this, like a playoff breakout? Is he going to take it by storm? I mean,
Point per
this
game,
could be.
point per game, wow.
Yeah, it could be. If there was
Consummate,
a, I
consummate.
wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I would not be surprised if Lafreniere just takes over,
Just goes out and wins a consummate.
rolls out of bed, game
No,
7 OT winner.
Filipino is winning consummate.
That would be amazing. I think that would be wild. I mean, if you I mean, that is quite the script. Filipino goes out there and wins the Conn Smythe.
Hey, we
I mean,
called it when it happens.
yeah, we're here. We have the script today, April 16th. By the time any of you are listening to this, it'll be April 17th. But still, a couple days before the playoffs, we called it. Hedel, Conn Smythe, or Lafreniere, one of the two. Wouldn't be surprised. Well, I would be surprised with Hedel just because of everything he's gone through, which would be awesome if he does. But Lafreniere, I could see him taking over. And the second line as a whole this year, they generated 101 goals, 152 assists, and 253 points. So just crazy numbers from them. Of course, you also had Trocheck in the middle of that, won the Stephen McDonald Extra Effort Award, which was well deserved. He had 76 points this season, so just about a point per game player for him. Of course, brings a ton of physicality. So the second line was great. Lafreniere, Panarin, two guys wins award here. Trocheck as well being recognized. Now we move on here. Rookie of the year, another not really up for debate. That is Will Cooley. Very productive season for him. 13 goals, 8 assists, 21 points. He had 247 hits this year, which led the team. The next closest was Trouba, who had 191, which is a 56 more hits than the next closest Ranger. And last year, Trouba led the team with 218. So when we talk about hits and we talk about Will Cooley racking those up, he had a lot of them, even more than Trouba last year, who led the team with 218. So a big year, big physicality for Will Cooley. Guy we talked about coming out of training camp with some potential upside. Of course, played what was it, 4 games last year? I think it was.
Yeah, he played around that. I think he didn't play a lot.
Yeah, you didn't see a whole lot. Earned a spot coming out of camp. Of course, was a guy that we were all kind of interested in seeing. Another one of these young players. And I think he exceeded a lot of the expectations that we placed on him on both ends of the ice.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I just think that his ability, like you're saying, the hitting, the skating, I think he kind of was kind of good at everything. I mean, he had some talent to him. He had some skill. He was able to kind of drive play at times, which the Rangers don't have many guys that do that. I just think he was an awesome addition to this team. I think he could be a very impactful guy in the playoffs, just with his playoff style hockey. He plays, I think, what you want someone to play like in the playoffs: gritty, can score goals, can play defense. And I just think he had an awesome season. Yeah, the totals aren't great. I don't know, maybe what did you say, 20 points?
Yeah. But I mean, for a third line, I mean, it's not.
Third line, yeah. I mean,
I
think for a player like him, you weren't really looking at his point total. You were looking at how he played, what he looked like as a player. So, and I was very impressed, and I know that you were, and I think that he's a building block for the future. Obviously, like, I don't think he'll ever be an elite point per game player, but he's someone that could develop into a very good top 6 forward that can do that extra stuff that you need, especially in the playoffs with grit. And then obviously he's talented too. So kind of reminds me a lot of Tom Wilson.
Yeah, he had a couple big goals. He had the one, remember, against Florida this year. A couple of them. He had the one, I think, 2 against the Canadians, I think it was, in that 1-7-4 win. 13 goals overall, not bad. Of course, 21 points, but he's not a guy that's going to go out there and load up the stat sheet. That's not really his job. But yeah, very good season for him. Very productive year. Very good rookie year. A lot of times he didn't really look like a rookie. Didn't make a whole lot of mistakes. Was very clean with the puck. Of course, his physicality was very noticeable. A guy, I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm very excited to see what he can do in the playoffs. A guy that feels like a playoff type player.
Yeah, I mean, I 100%. I mean, he's someone that I'm really excited to see. I mean, again, speed and talent and physicality.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dangerous player in the playoffs to go up against. Someone that can finish, but someone that can finish and then also finish your check too. So
yeah. You mentioned the Tom Wilson comparison. We might get now. The game, of course, is still going on right now. But
1-1. I know this video is going to come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
The score update as we're shooting, it's 1-1. The Red Wings actually tied the game. That's 3-3. So tight games here. Hopefully by tomorrow we know what we're playing.
Yeah, tomorrow I have a better idea. As right now, the games are still going on. So by the time you're listening to this, you already probably know. But if that is the case, Thompson, Will Cooley, that'll be a good series, hopefully. pretty, I think, winnable series for the Rangers. But we'll get to that for the time. So that's the rookie of the year. No real surprise there again. Well deserved for Will Cooley. So we've gone MVP Panarin, most improved Lafreniere, rookie of the year Will Cooley. Now, big surprise. Kind of had two couple players in the mix here. We'll go with the main one. That's Jonathan Quick. I guess if you wanted to, you could say Matt Rempe because nobody saw Matt Rempe coming out of the middle of nowhere, Rempe mania. The only problem is, in terms of actual production on the ice, Quick did a lot more than Matt Rempe did. Rempe is mainly known for his fighting and time in the penalty box. Not a whole lot else. He is a good player when he's out there, but
winning a faceoff, he won a faceoff.
Yeah, that is true. And the goal, big goal, I believe.
Yeah,
What was it?
It was a big
against
goal,
the
actually.
Jackets?
I think it was a game-winning goal. No, it was the Flyers.
Flyers game. I apologize. Blue Jackets game. I think he had the assist to Edgstrom.
I think he did, but I mean, they lost that game.
Yeah. No, yeah, they lost. That was the day after. But yeah, he had the goal against the Flyers. He's got 2 points. So that's big. Almost a point per game player. Only needs 80 points next season in 82 games. And we're talking about a point per game player. Either way. When he's out there, not in the penalty box, not fighting, he can be a good playoff player. But he's mainly known for his 71 penalty minutes, however many fights he's gotten into, 5? The Devils,
Flyers, he fought
Blue
Martin. He fought
Martin. That was 5. Yeah, I think it's 5.
Laurier. He fought
Blue Jackets. I forget who it was.
Olivier or something like Olivia. I don't know.
Yeah, and then it was McDermott. Reeves McDermott.
Reeves, yeah.
So it was about 5 fights, 71 penalty minutes. So we're going to give it to Quick because Quick did a lot more production. But in terms of, I guess, I don't know, biggest fan favorite award, Matt Rempe. That's an award. We just made it up here. Fan favorite award, Matt Rempe.
I just want to say about Quick. He had a phenomenal season for his age, and people kind of counted him out this year after last year. Dude, he was so good. I mean,
earned himself an extension.
Well. There was can't recall a game where I was like, damn, Quick really let us down. I think it was the complete opposite. In the games that maybe he gave a decent amount of goals or the total wasn't great. I thought he played well in all the games, even the games that he gave like 4 goals. He was a phenomenal player. And I think that I have a lot of faith in him. If something were to happen to Igor, I think I wouldn't have a problem putting him in. And obviously it's a downgrade, but I don't think it's that big.
Yeah, I mean, you would never want to see Igor go down, especially in the playoffs. But if there was a guy that would be able to come in and step up, it would be Quick. He's got the experience. He's got a cup. Very good this year. 2.62 goals allowed per game, was 14th in the NHL. And yeah, Quick was definitely the biggest surprise. Like we said, earned himself an extension, which is well-deserved. Very good teammate in the locker room. Just a great guy, just a great addition on the ice, off the ice. And, he was kind of seemed like he was nearing his end. He played in LA. He got traded to Columbus for, what was it, like 2 days, and then he went to Vegas.
Not even. Then he went to Vegas.
Blue Jackets legend goes to Vegas. Was letting up 3.13 goals per game. In his time with the Kings, he was allowing 3.50 goals per game. Just a guy that was not the same goaltender as he once was, rightfully so. He turned 38 in January. You didn't expect a whole lot out of him this year. All you wanted him to do was just be competent, and he was more than that. For a while here, he was the Rangers' best goaltender during the struggles of Igor. There was a couple of those days in January where he kind of kept the team alive a little bit when Igor was struggling. So ton of credit to him. Finished 18-6-2, which is awesome for a backup goaltender to pick up 18 wins. 2 shutouts, 911 save percentage, which ranked 12th in the National Hockey League. So was really a top 15 goaltender this year in many different categories, which is crazy to say that the Rangers, and at times Quick was in the top 10 in a couple different areas. That's how good he was at times. I mean, even up until the Flyers game, he won, 5 straight games? Just knew how to win. He won games. Made the saves he needed to make. Did exactly what you want out of backup goalie and more. So,
save of the year too.
Yeah, save of the year against the Panthers.
Panthers, yeah.
Yep, that was awesome. So yeah, lots to like from Quick. He was great. I mean, anytime I guess you have it. I mean, anytime you have a discussion where middle of the year it was All right, who's the better goaltender, Quick or Igor? We knew it was Igor once he would get going, but if it wasn't for Quick, this team would have potentially been in a different spot when Igor was struggling because they desperately needed Quick at the top of the game, top of his game there, and he was. I think this is when do you think? What do you think this was the best Quick has looked in what? I mean, the last time he allowed
It's been a while.
2.40 goals per game in 2017, 2018. Allowed about 2.7 in 2019, 2020. I didn't watch a whole lot of Kings games, I'll be honest.
Oh yeah, not many Kings games, but I feel like
No, but I mean,
kind of
probably
before
3-4 years at least.
we weren't big fans of Quick, I'd say.
No, yeah, that's the crazy part of this all is we're praising him, and a decade ago this would have been crazy, but here we are. Stars are aligning. It would be great to see. That would be a cool story though to see him win a cup here.
Yeah,
It
it's
would be
hometown, or not hometown, but home team. Grew up in the area. Was a Rangers fan growing up.
Yeah, of course, beating us now, winning one with us. Yeah, he's been awesome. He's been awesome. I don't think any of us Rangers fans ever expected us to be rooting for Jonathan Quick or to be praising him like this. But when you start 26 games, you appear in 27, and you play like the way he did, he was awesome. So Jonathan Quick, biggest surprise. Now to maybe the most important award of them all, the Fishbowl Award. Fishbowl Jimmy Vesey. Finished the season with 13 goals, 13 assists, 26 points. Vesey was awesome. Good bottom six player. And, of course, the Fishbowl. What are your thoughts on Vesey and this prestigious award?
Sorry, you cut out.
Sorry. What are your thoughts on Vesey?
I mean, like, what? I mean, the GOAT.
Fishbowl?
One of the greatest players of all time. With you're in 20 years, you're going to be like Gretzky, McDavid, Fishbowl, Vesey. I mean,
yeah.
All jokes aside, though, I think Vesey is one of the best fourth line players in the NHL.
Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, that 13 goals on the fourth line is
that's really good.
26 points. He was awesome. Couple nice ones too. He had the backhanded one against the Devils. I remember.
He's got some skill.
Got a couple nice ones.
He's got skill. He can stick handle. He can shoot. He's very good defensively. He can help you kill penalties. I think, all jokes aside, I think he's a really important player and a really good player to have on this team that can even come up and help you fill in a spot in like a third line role, even if you need him to. And I think him as a fourth line player has been awesome. Him returning to the Rangers has been awesome. Kind of I'd say a little bit of a failure when you first got him in 2016 or 2017, but yeah, he's been awesome. I mean, and especially the Fishbowl.
Yeah. So, this is, I guess, for future years.
Let's just say he made Fishbowls great again.
Yeah. I mean, he was the first one to wear it. He repped it well. And then he wore it, and then after him was a Gaudreau. And it was it then Gustafson? No, it was Lindgren.
Lindgren wore one, Mika wore one, Fox wore one.
And then it was Mika, and then it was Fox.
Yeah, a lot of
Fishbowls this year. Vesey wore it the best, of course.
Yeah, Fishbowl.
I think for future years, it should be called the Jimmy Vesey Fishbowl Award.
The Jimmy Vesey Award?
We're officially naming it. Yeah, it's the Jimmy Vesey Fishbowl Award. And then next year, if there's a different winner, maybe if Jimmy Vesey, if there's a different Fishbowl winner, like if Mika wears a Fishbowl next year during Mika March, probably Mika wins it. So we'll give it to Mika wins the Jimmy Vesey Fishbowl Award.
I got a question here for you. I know it's a little off topic, but considering, I mean, it kind of ties into the Rangers, but so the game now I'm looking at, it's 5 minutes left, right? In the Flyers Capitals game, and they're tied. Would the Flyers need to win this game in regulation? Do they pull the goalie tied?
Yeah, probably. I would.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't. I mean,
regulation win.
It doesn't matter.
5 left.
Yeah, I mean, if you lose in regulation, you're out. If you win in overtime, you're out.
Yeah. They had the goal get called back too, so they'd technically be up right now.
I was just thinking about that. I think that'd be kind of like a cool thing to see, a team pulling their goalie tied.
Put a little. What do you think?
How many left? How many times? I mean, there's 4:30 left, so it's just a curious thing to go and watch. I mean, obviously, this is already going to be up, but maybe
this will be all irrelevant in about 15 minutes. But
you'll be watching this a clip on the internet tonight of the Red Wing or the Flyers pulling the goalie.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. But kind of going back, though, like
Thankfully, we are not in that situation.
going back though, like VC is him. That's all we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say. When he
Himmy
wears
VZ fishbowl.
when he's wearing the fishbowl, watch out.
Yeah. This is by far the most prestigious award, Fishbowl VZ. The Jimmy VZ Fishbowl Award is the official name. Himmy VZ. All seriousness, no, like you said, though, much better than his first tenure with the Rangers. He was awesome this year. Was very good bottom six. Looking forward to seeing what he could do in the playoffs. One of those guys in the playoffs that'll definitely help you out. So those are the awards. Now, I don't know if I don't want to crush him too much, but I guess if there was one guy that we were a little disappointed in this year, I think we'd both agree would be Mika now. But we've talked enough about Mika. He started to play better towards the end of the season. Mika March, he was solid, finally getting 5-on-5 goals. Of course, he went, what was it, 70? How many days was it without a 5-on-5 goals? It's 74, 76?
It was like, I think it might have been like 71. It was like
71.
It was something stupid.
Yeah, it was over 70. He went basically, 2.5 months without scoring a 5-on-5 goal. We all know it. We've all crushed him all year. Don't want to keep doing that. But do you think he'll turn around here in the playoffs? Or are you concerned that this year, this first line is going to do what it's done? Kreider you trust, but of course, Mika and then Roslovic, even though he scored against Ottawa, has not necessarily been, I guess, the Frankie Vitrano type that we thought we might be getting. So what are your thoughts on Mika? Are you at?
Yeah, I mean,
you think he's good for the, like, do you trust him in the playoffs here? You think it's, new slate, couple days off, new season. He scored these are just some staggering numbers to me about Mika. He had his lowest goal total since 2020, 2021. Now that season, they only played 56 games. So technically, the last time Mika had lower than the goals he had this year was 2016, 2017, where he had 14 and 56 games. That was his first year with the Rangers. So technically, it's been since 2016 where he's at his lowest goal total since 2016, 2017. And points, he had 72. That was the lowest in a full season, not including the 56-game COVID year. You have to go back to 2017, 2018, where he had 47 points in 72 games. So the last time he hasn't had that low since 2017, 2018. So we're talking about career lows and over the last 4 or 5 years for Mika. It was bad.
You gotta hope though, like he comes through in the playoffs. I mean, kind of is able to kind of turn on and switch into that playoff gear. I mean, I feel like Kreider for a lot of times people kind of hate on him. He's able to come through for the team, play well in the playoffs. Oh my God, I'm sorry to freaking stop this. The Red Wings were down 1 goal, just scored with 3 seconds left to force overtime.
Wow. So they'll pick up a point.
They get a point. That's huge. I mean, well, they needed to win the game, but 3.3 seconds left. They score on an icing. Holy shit.
I think it's over. It's over for Philly.
Oh, Philly's out.
Yeah, Philly's out. Wow. So now what? Do they pull the goaltender still?
Well, I mean, now it doesn't matter if I don't know like how that goes as far as like someone like tells Tortorella like we're done.
They probably don't. I mean, they might. They probably all the arenas have the scores up on like the side jumbotron.
That's crazy though, dude. Like, and
3 seconds left, and they scored a goal.
I have like the stream up in top because I have the streams up just because I mean this is big for the Rangers, but yeah, no, that's crazy that they scored 3 seconds.
They'll lose.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they don't really need to win though.
No, I know, but
if Washington
I'm just saying,
loses, if Washington gets a point, they're out.
If Washington needs to win.
If they get a point, then Detroit's out. Unless Detroit,
if Washington goes to overtime, wins.
That's saying Detroit loses in overtime.
Yeah, if Detroit wins in overtime,
but if Detroit wins in overtime,
if they both win, then Washington's in.
Yeah, and if Detroit wins,
needs Washington to lose.
Detroit wins right now. Flyers are out.
Yeah,
if Detroit wins, that eliminates the Penguins.
Yeah, the Penguins are done because they'll be 3 points behind. Yeah,
3 points,
4 points actually.
Oh
No,
yeah, I guess it'd be 4. I guess yeah.
um, no, they would be 3. The Flyers would be 4
The
because the
Flyers,
Flyers have 87.
the Flyers are already eliminated.
Yeah,
That
the
game,
Flyers.
it's in overtime right now. But I sorry to
So if
interrupt. I
we,
thought that was kind
yeah,
of sick. That they that's a clutch. I mean, like, did you watch the game last night? They were down 4-1, and then came back with like seeing like less than a minute left and tied the game one in overtime. So a couple,
yeah,
a lot of crazy things happening in the NHL. So that affects the Rangers.
does. I still think the Capitals are going to get in personally.
They're not winning yet though.
I know, but
I don't
I
want to
don't
play
know.
the
Maybe
Penguins.
I'm wrong. We'll be wrong.
I don't want to play the Penguins. I play the Red Wings. So I'm kind of hoping the Red Wings win in overtime and just eliminate the Penguins. We don't even
Penguins
need to
would be
worry about
your
that.
out of the 3 teams. Penguins would be your least.
Yeah, I don't want to play the Penguins.
Who would be
Yeah,
next?
again, we have
All right,
Crosby.
Red
I don't
Wings.
care. I know. It's not
I
even like
prefer to play the Capitals personally than the Red
I
Wings.
don't care. I think I'd rather play the Red Wings.
Really? I'd rather play the
I
Capitals.
think Lindgren is much better than what the
Yeah,
Red
he
Wings
did
have.
shut us down.
And
You're right.
they're a very soft team. I think the Capitals, who knows, maybe Tom Wilson or they don't have Mantha anymore, but
You
Tom
also have
Wilson,
Ovi. You never know when he might just break out into
Ovi or
something really
Tom
good.
Wilson could like kind of run you, and then they have the Ranger killer in their team. We don't want any Ranger killers. You know, like how many goals is
Yeah,
TJ Oshie gonna put in that? How many how
I don't
many
know.
over under 2.5? Three and a half in that series from TJ
Under,
Oshie.
under. I'm not scared of Washington.
I'm not either, but I'm just saying that I think
Under.
I'm not scared of those teams at all. I think obviously I don't want to jinx it at all. But I'm not saying they can't
Yeah, I don't
lose.
want to jinx either. I wasn't very,
They can lose to any team.
want to jinx.
I think the Red Wings would be four games, 4 or 5 games. I think Washington would be 5.
See,
I don't
I
think they're
think
gonna
Washington. I think they. I think we handled Red Wings good this year. I still think Washington, to me, the Rangers could sweep. I think the Red Wings could go 5 or even 6.
I don't know. I feel the opposite way. I think you have what's his face. You have Lindgren who's played well.
Yeah, I mean,
You
if
have
he
some.
does get hot, I understand. I don't know. I just think the Washington's just the older team.
They do have
They don't got much
experience,
left.
but
I don't
and
know.
I guess
I'm
the
not
Red
really
Wings have
scared of
maybe a
them.
little bit more jump, but again, they don't really have much of goaltending. They're very
Yeah.
young on defense. They
Well,
don't
I mean,
really have
even none of these teams really do. That's one thing the Rangers have. I mean, even the Penguins. You've got Jari.
Charles Story's a decent player.
He's solid, but he hasn't been very good.
Well, this also eliminates the Penguins. Like the Penguins need to win now. They can't like
Yeah.
think if they all a breakaway here from Larkin save. Oh my god. Oh my god, they missed a backdoor goal. But no, I think the Red Wings in Capitals, I would be
Yeah, I mean, look,
pretty,
I feel confident
pretty
either way. We
comfortable.
won the President's Trophy. The team's got to get to the
Hey,
ECF.
listen,
In my
we've been
eyes,
saying
they've got to
we
win
said
the
that
first round,
we
whoever
said
the
this
heck
for a
they're
while.
playing.
We wanted to avoid lightning, and we did.
Yeah, we did.
And honestly,
Yeah, I mean,
I wanted to avoid the
yeah,
Islanders too. I didn't want to play the
yeah,
Islanders as well.
yeah, yeah. I think we would have been. I think we would have. Yeah, the Islanders wouldn't have been great. I kind of want to avoid what happened last year with the local team, but um, like the team. Look, the reality is, no matter who this team's playing, you got to get past the first round.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
just
like
the reality.
we
So,
were saying earlier. Listen,
either if they were playing the Lightning, we could be scared as all heck. They got to win that series, or else
we're
it's a
better. I
disaster.
mean, let's
So,
say the Rangers can beat any team in this league, especially with the
yeah,
goaltending.
yep.
Yeah. Oh, the Red Wings just took a penalty in overtime. Oh no.
Any other
Red Wings.
thoughts on Mika?
Hey, this is a Ranger playoff episode. You know, we're talking
Yes,
about
that's
everything
part of
here,
it.
but the thing is about Mika is he may be the X factor because if
Yeah,
he
I mean,
gets
he's just
hot,
part of the core.
if
Core
he
comes
gets
down to them.
hot, if he gets hot, he's almost unstoppable, and he scores in bunches. If you look at the last playoff that he did well in 2022, he was driving the team. Scored like in 5 straight games. I mean, that one time was amazing. He was buzzing through the neutral zone with speed. If he can get going, this team is going to be dangerous. And you know what? I'm pretty confident in him. I think, like I said, him and Kreider, they got to start early though. You can't wait until late in the series.
Yeah, you can't fall down 2-0, come back and show up in game 6 and game 7, which
That's
would be
my thing.
good, but you can't wait.
That's my kind of like last thing on
If
Zibanejad
they
is
win game 7, I'm saying. Not good if they get to
he
game 7.
listen.
There should not be a
I'm
game
saying
7 in round 1.
he needs to come out right away.
Yeah.
We can't be waiting until 6. We can't be waiting until 5. We can't be waiting until 7. Because for a big thing for him is momentum. I think once he starts going, it starts going in for him, and like he has to get in a role before I think it's too late. And I'm just saying, like, if he can get going, this team's dangerous, and Zibanejad's a player that he could come up big for you.
Yeah, he's a streaky player. He's a guy that's what the whole thing with Mika March. He scores both goals in bunches. And I agree with you. I have this weird feeling all this year of criticizing Mika, rightfully so. I have this weird feeling he's going to have a massive postseason where it's a
Dude,
new
I'm
slate.
excited.
He's going to be
I'm excited.
motivated. He's gonna realize the pressure of the first line still hasn't played great, even with Roslovic. Everybody talking about the core of this team, and it's got to come down to Mika and Kreider and Panarin. We say the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's going to come out and dominate.
What about
I mean, Mika game 1 scores first period, maybe over Barclay Gaudreau.
kind
But all
of?
serious, it wouldn't be a bad bet to make. I could see him coming out and just a bad regular season. I could just see him turning it up a notch, realizing that it's gonna not all of it's gonna fall on his shoulders, but
What about
he doesn't play well. He's not going anywhere.
I mean, yeah, we kind of went over that, and we went over a little bit of. We could talk a little about Kreider too, but like we kind of said, we have faith in Kreider. Kind of, he's been
been
the
around
he's been the
forever.
playoff guy. He's come through, obviously, especially in the power play, kills penalties. Someone that maybe not be totally on the radar, especially because they've missed the whole seasons. You think we've said this a couple times, but like, you think Hino plays on Sunday? When do you think we'll kind of get a better idea of the Heedles thing, or do you think he's kind of just going to say the same thing, like there's no timetable on him, we don't know.
Yeah, some of it might be a little gamesmanship. Some of it might just kind of be waiting
or
it
kind
out.
of maybe not putting like too much pressure on him, like just, hey, listen, you
don't want to you don't want to say he's playing game 1 and then something happened where he's not ready. Do I think he plays game 1?
I hope he does. I love Heedle's game for this team.
I will say this, like, I want him to play game 1. I really don't have a feeling. I'll be honest.
You don't have a feeling he's gonna play, or you're not like
I just
going either way.
There's not really a feeling I have either way of. I would say I lean towards yes, because I wouldn't see why he would come back.
Exactly, full contact. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
there wasn't 2 weeks. This is going to be about a week, because he came back middle of last Thursday,
Friday, maybe. Yeah,
Thursday, Friday. Yeah,
dude. But the thing is, like,
he's been here for at least 3 practices.
He came back full. You know what I mean?
Like,
yeah, full contact.
Yeah, non-contact.
Like,
he didn't come back to non-contact.
Yeah, there wasn't like a period where he kind of had to get built up to. He just came in right away and skating good with the team. And that's really, really awesome to hear, and I'm excited. And I mean, we talked about Panarin, we talked about a little bit of Kreider's Zibanejad. Like, kind of, we can wrap it up a little if you want. We kind of went over everything. I got something just to kind of wrap it up. But like, who's one player that you think under the radar that could have a huge playoff impact? Let's each give one. You can go first.
One player.
Not like an obvious guy. Not like obviously like Panarin or Spanish. Like someone that could make a big impact that you're not really thinking of, or like wouldn't get the like recognition prior. Like not really like on people's like radar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you. This one might be weird. I could see Capo Caco.
You know what? The funny thing is about Caco, real quick about him is
score game 1 goal and show no facial reaction.
In like August, I tweeted out on my account, Capo Caco will score a playoff overtime goal this year.
We've got the script.
Yeah, but no, I agree. I think Caco is a good pick. I mean, he's sneaky good. I mean, obviously
he's been playing better.
He's been playing awesome, dude. He looks confident. He's shooting the puck. I mean, he's playing good defensively. Yeah.
I mean, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4. He's had 6 of his 13 goals in the last month. So he's really come along here past injury. The injury, and we said this when he went down, how the injury could have been a blessing in disguise for him to sit back, watch, learn. And it seems like he has. You got to give him credit. He's rehabbed well. He's come back really well. He's playing, it seems like, similar to Panarin, a lot looser. It felt like early in the season he was putting a lot of pressure on himself with the way Lafreniere was playing. He's been better. So I'll go Kako. He's had some, going back to the 2021-2022 season with the Lightning and how that ended. I'll go Capo Kako with an underrated. I could see him coming through in a big way.
Yeah, I will go with one of his line mates. I'll go Alex Wemberg. I mean, just his defensive presence, his neutral zone defense, his ability to kind of see the ice really well, stick handle in tight spots. I don't think he's got such great like scoring touch, but I think he does a lot of really important things for you, especially in the defensive zone. I think he can be that kind of shut down third line guy. And I'm not saying that he's going to go out and have maybe as a big goal, maybe he plays well, but I think more so, I think that he'll be a guy who's able to kind of like take away a line on the other team and kind of be able to defend the other team's top line. And I think he's been awesome, and I think he is what you want out of that third line shutdown line. And I think he's been awesome. And who knows, maybe he comes up with a couple big goals.
Yeah, it would be. He's definitely would be great to see another trade deadline edition come through. Any chance Roslovic gets going?
I don't know, dude, because it all depends, I think, on what Hedl does. If he plays or not. He's got jump to his game. He's got speed, but it's just like, is he gonna do it?
It's there.
By the way, so
Capitals won.
The Capitals won.
Yep. Yeah, they won.
What was the score?
2-1.
Oh, so that you think the Red Wings know that they're eliminated because they're in a shootout right now?
Yeah, they're in a shootout.
We'll
play the Capitals.
Oh, okay. That's like perfect timing.
Perfect timing. End of it. Playing the Capitals. Thoughts on the Capitals here. Now that we've kind of given our thoughts earlier, but Capitals.
Yeah, we knew that. We knew that though, right?
We knew that.
We knew we were playing.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, they would have had to blow.
We went.
All they had to do was
beat the Flyers.
Beat the Flyers. Yeah, So they did. Playing the Capitals.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's it. Rangers, Capitals.
Hey, Capitals won what 40 games this year.
They beat us twice this year, right?
They beat us once. Yeah, they beat us. They beat us in the day game in January. When Lindgren got hot.
We got shut out.
I think they beat us in December. Remember that was that one terrible game.
Yeah, we got shut out.
Didn't they? Yeah, wasn't it? Well, no, wasn't it like 5-1. They beat us that one game.
I gotta tweet that. Somebody called me. That was my mom. What she want?
Anyway, any closing thoughts here? Now that we know the Capitals are our first round opponent.
It's we kind of expected it,
Yeah, I mean, we expected. You gotta beat whoever you're playing, whether it was the Red Wings, Capitals, Penguins, or Flyers. This team should beat them. I think the Capitals are a little bit more of a. I get the Lindgren point because when Lindgren gets hot, we saw it this year. I mean, he actually played both those games. That back-to-back, he played both those games. He actually didn't play bad in the second game, even though the Rangers won. But he only allowed, one goal in the one game, playing really well. So he could get hot.
You just got to hope that kind of can get to him early in games.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this Capitals team, their core of, Ovechkin and, even guys like John Carlson and TJ Oshie, all those guys are nearing the end. Tom Wilson, not necessarily he's nearing the end, but that core of guys that have won cups before, they're all older. I trust this team against them. I mean, they're, a lot of history between the two though in the playoffs, especially recently over really the last decade. Do we get another overtime goal against the Capitals?
Dude, my phone is not working. What the hell? My phone was like, but I think that
Capitals, even though they were over the NHL 500 mark, they finished with 42 losses. They won 40 games. They finished with 42 losses, including their overtime losses. They finished 40 and 42 technically if you're combining the two. The Rangers won 55 games. There is no excuse. Win the series in 5 games or less. That's the simplest way to put it. 5 games the max. Washington might steal one game 3 on home ice, but you should be able to come right back and win game 4 and 5 at that point.
Yeah, I
So
mean, well, it's it's a team they should beat. So I mean,
yeah,
I think we kind of
we
obviously
didn't want
like
the Lightning. We didn't get them.
yeah, I guess we kind of got what we wanted.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Any closing thoughts?
No, I mean the it's playoffs, but
Playoffs.
I think that hey, listen, we got to go out and get the job done on the team that we should beat in Washington, and yeah, I think now you know what's in front of you, and you just got to come up and play good.
Yep. I agree. All right. So we'll have another episode up later this week. So stay tuned for that. Definitely won't want to miss it. And then, as we mentioned, after each game, we will have live streams here. We'll take your call-ins, take your comments, reacting to each game, post-game shows, hopefully for 16 wins. I was about to say 16 games, but I don't think the Rangers are going to sweep every series. What do you think here? What do you think gets the job done for the Rangers? What do we think? If they win 5 in the first round, let's say, maybe win 6 in the second round, third round goes to 7, that'd be 13, 18. I don't know, cup maybe goes to 6, that'd be like 24 games.
Listen, it doesn't matter how many games we're going to
Doesn't
play.
matter. I'm just
It all
projecting.
matters how many games we're going to win, and
It
that's
would
the
be
end of
great
it.
if we just won 16 wins in 16 games. I mean, that would be nice.
Yeah, nice and easy, no stress.
Yeah. Anyway, that'll do it. As always, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.